Good morning. It's Friday, 19th of September. It's 8 something, coming 9 in the morning. I've been procrastinating this whole morning. I was like, hey, I need to do the video. I came back from my documentary trip Tuesday, Wednesday night. Like, hey, I need to do that. I need to do this video, but first I need to wash my hair. I need to put on makeup, everything. And then I have some other schedules later today. Like, And then obviously I've been procrastinating this whole morning, and then while I was procrastinating, I bumped into this guy saying this thing that I wrote down on something that he said. I would focus on my humanity, experimentation and variety, willingness to show up and meet myself where I'm at in any moment. I would recognize the value in this tool of social media or video, allowing me to show up in all of my states with all of my versions of Anni, and acknowledge that if I'm willing to at least show up, be with me in all those different versions, there might be other people out there who see something in me and say, hey, I want to spend time with all the versions of her as well. So here I am experimenting, and this also relates to, so I've been feeling quite exhausted, not like physically exhausted so much as just like mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted. Obviously the trip was amazing and exhausting in many ways, and kind of the thing, well, maybe the only thing that kind of like I have been a bit unsatisfied or unhappy with myself was that because of other things, I just didn't have the mental energy to carve out time to focus on getting certain things done regarding my album release. And at the same time, I know that even when saying this is that my bar is so high, and I'm setting the bar so high, and then when I don't reach it in every way, then I can just like keep on beating myself up, feeling bad about myself, and also that I'm gonna come to the tangibles in a minute. But yeah, so basically my album is coming out in a week, and there's so many things that I haven't done. Basically, I fucked up the whole PR. There's no PR. There's no PR. But so yesterday evening, I had a great conversation with a good friend of mine, Stephen. Had a long walk and talked with him over the phone, and he's this like, he knows, he works in kind of communications and branding and stuff like that. So he gives me sometimes like nice advice. And then so one advice that I've gotten from him, and I totally agree, is that kind of like this kind of like, please help me, please do this, please help me. That's not the right way of communicating, because it's more like, because we all are selfish. So in a way, we need to communicate in a way that, for example, like if I want to promote my music, that instead of like, hey, please help me to do this, if you want to help me, I need to kind of like inspire you to take action, because you are so inspired to take action. So it's not about helping me, but kind of like you just wanting to share the song with your friends because you think sharing my music makes you look cool or whatever. You can understand that the dynamic is different there. And then other advice has been that, not from him, but just like in general, like how much there are things that you don't want to, or you can't talk about. For example, if other people are involved, it's not like, okay, this is just a random, like, for example, with my partner, if I would like have like a massive argument with my partner, it's not that I'm not gonna come and post about it first on social media. And it's not just about me, but it's also like, I respect the other person. So I just don't do that because I know there are people who, you understand. So, but now as I feel really, so Steven said like, yeah, I feel very, very abandoned. I've been feeling very abandoned. Like I realized that I've been struggling with getting everything done. And when I did my strategy earlier this year, because I had to let go of my manager, that's something that I decided I'm not going to be talking about anywhere. Because it was another, I'm very grateful for him for believing me when not many people did. But unfortunately, and he's not a bad person, but other stuff of his life just spilled over in a very, very unfortunate way. And his inability to deal with it and his own actions was just very, just added another layer to the like psychological trauma that I have around music industry, and especially men in the music industry. And throughout this year, it still has kept on kind of like coming, kind of like it's like little things here and there, and then I'm like, oh my god, that, or like, yeah, now I see, now I understand that, or you know, and why didn't I see this earlier, or like, but that's just like the emotional cleaning process. So you know, and I'm good, like, but now as the album is coming out, and I did my strategy, and even in the SWOT analysis that I did in my strategy, I already was able to point out that my weaknesses and the threats are that I have all these inabilities in the way I communicate and how I lead, and inabilities to kind of like, so then I drop balls or make U-turns, and that's so that then I don't have the time to be the artist when I have to be doing everything else. And I've become pretty good at doing a lot of things out of necessity. But yeah, so as I came back from Kyiv and from our trip this week, and then realizing that for several reasons that I have totally failed to just communicate and get the PR. I have like PR people, and then I just haven't like been able to communicate with them and give them all the rest of the material, because there is still part of me, I guess, that is kind of afraid of being seen, and part of me that for some reason like these things are just really hard. And I thought that Steven said yesterday that because it looks like to the outside that I have like my shit together and everything is so like running like a machine. And that's just because I want to create this safety inside the chaos. And
And I constantly keep on like bumping into this, that people, for example, say that, oh, I'm so inspired of you. But then what does that mean? Oh, I guess it's like a nice thing, but then if you look at my Spotify numbers or my Instagram numbers or any numbers or anything, you being inspired of me doesn't show. It doesn't show. And I guess now, you know, the guy on TikTok say like, show up and experiment. I guess this is just me for once. This is me for once. Showing that I feel so paralyzed in shame and exhaustion and guilt and overwhelmed in all of this. How badly I run everything. And then I even forget that then when I was just listening to yesterday one of my songs, because I was just like prepping, thinking about this song and kind of like how they want to do it, and I started listening to it, and then I was like, oh my god, this is like a fucking amazing song. Like, this is so good. And I even like, and then I'm like, yeah, this is how I'm gonna perform it, and yeah, it's gonna be like amazing, and I'm actually like, I work so hard that I know I can work the room, and actually it's gonna be pretty great, and I know I can like light up the energy, and then it's like to a point that I even forget that part of me exists. Because I don't have the PR, and I haven't done this, and I know I'm over time, and I don't think I'll ever talk about these things again. So it's gonna be interesting to see in the years to come who watched this, because I've shared some information that I've never shared, and I don't think I'll publicly ever share again. But the final thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna allow myself to go over time, because if you're one of these people that this is important to you, maybe as well, that okay, now I'm losing my track of my thought. That now that the album is coming out, I wanted to have a certain feeling around it. And I know part of the negativity or feeling of lack and exhaustion is still stemming from just recovering from the trip and everything that went to it. But at the same time, I am experiencing this lack of support. And like I said yesterday to Steven on the phone, that no one has checked in with me. Like, how am I feeling about the album coming out? like, people have not checked in. Like, yeah, some people we like, you know, get certain things done, etc. But like, nobody is actually like, hey, where we at? What do you need? Talk to me. Let's go through things. And I feel like I don't want to be that person anymore who keeps on pushing or like forcing people or kind of inspiring people to come to my showcase next week's Friday in my hometown in Finland. Hey, let's like this has to be enough, and my songs have to be enough. But for some reason, there is a core part of me that thinks that I always need to do more. And that's insane. I don't know. Help. Click all the links. Share with your friends. Okay. I guess I'm gonna finish my coffee and wash my hair.